Maurice Monroe here, out in deep space on a 2-year run to Coronova. Gonna have to sleep through half of it, but the moments I will be awake, I'm only gonna have my nav computer and my old Xena DVD box set. So, when I ain't watching Xena or slowly losing my mind, I'm gonna get on comms and whisper into the void. First things first, I'm gonna open some of these gifts my admirers sent to my mailbox on Tigeron. Haven't checked it in a while, sorry about that. Okay, Barabbas Connolly sent me an automated rectal stimulator with a note that reads, "I think you'll need this more than me." Thank you, Barabbas. I'm not quite sure if you're a fan or a troll, but seeing I got a chuckle out of it, I'm gonna lean towards the former. Okay, what's this? A picture of me and Montsho Shelby circa 2033, and another picture of old-timey Sepa in what appears to be me in gunslinger regalia. Let me take a gander at the note. Came across these at an archives on Old Earth. It says it's a depiction of Maurice Monroe. Is this an ancestor of yours? Signed, Bluebird. Well, I guess I have a little explaining to do, huh? Wait, there's one last picture here. It's to my little more, because he's just a little more than most. Give me a minute. Oh yeah, this takes me back. Seems like today's story is mine. I'll tell you what I can, and you'll have to figure what I don't. This was a picture my mother had of me. I'm not going to say the year, but just believe it wasn't from our future, but way back in the past. Old Master Moore let his slaves get their pictures taken for good behavior. Was I a slave? No, never. Was I enslaved? Absolutely. I was hating this photo. My mama called me Little More over Maurice. She never called me that. But don't you go calling me that, or I may just have a bullet waiting on you. My mama used to be what we called a griot for the whole camp. And her father, my grandfather was, and his father and her mother, all the way back to Africa, or so I was told. Our family were always torchbearers, who had the burden and honor of keeping our history alive. But stories can be so much more than that. History, love, pain, hope. Stories can become legend and myth, influence the attitudes of communities, continents, or planets, and dictate the course of evolution. You may not believe it, but best believe I do. Words are the birth of action. So I carried on the tradition of my forefathers and mothers. My enslaved grandfather learned to read in his bondage. From what I was told, he found a book and taught himself. Through the years and the generations, he started writing stories and hid his book. Every generation added to it. My only regret in life was I never got to add to it. I was shunted out of reality before I could. I've returned quite a few times, but I never could find where my people put it. I have seen some of my brothers and my mama again, but I was 14 when I left, so when I see them, I'm a grown man. They don't even know me. That's the thing with time travel. You exist in the world, and you don't. You're like a ghost, half in and half out. Able to see and hear, but not necessarily touch. Unless you like making a paradox that unravels time and shunts you back into a random place in reality. I was 14 when I got my first taste of eternity. You see, I was a curious boy back then, and back then, 14 was damn near grown anyways, seeing people kick the bucket in their 40s. Master Monroe was a dabbler in the occult, and everyone knew he wasn't right. He used to wear his death cloaks at the witching hours of the night and invite his weird friends over. Once and again, a slave may go missing, and inexplicably, he didn't cause a stink about it. What slave master you ever heard of just let it go when a slave up and disappeared? We all started to know when ones was took and ones up and escaped. It was 2 days from my 14th birthday when I stumbled onto some shit I shouldn't have never stumbled on. But what's this saying go like, the universe don't make mistakes? My mother was one who kept everyone in the slaves' quarters entertained, but for my birthday, I was slated to tell my first tale. I had the story worked out. Just imagine something like the Lethal Weapon movies if it were in pre-Civil War America with an ex-slave and a Swedish man who ain't never really dealt with slavery. I think it was a good story myself, but I needed it to be great, something that was worthy of going in the book. I heard from Ezra that Master had a library full of books built into the cellar where no one could see. Now don't get ahead of me, I know you're trying. You know why. You've seen so many stories, you know where they all go.